So student, today we'll start a new chapter, that is a light, और इसको हिंदी में प्रकाश बोला जाता है. तो बिफोर वी स्टार्ट विद दिस न्यू चैप्टर, लेट अस डिस्कस समथिंग अबाउट दैट. तो प्रकाश या लाइट, इसके बारे में आप लोगों को क्या लगता है कि मतलब व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दैट? इज इट any object, or it is something like it is any kind of invisible thing? What is that? How we, first of all, how we can see things, that is very important question. And if you have any question, you can write that in the comment section also. So before we start this chapter, you have to know some things. Like light itself is a very important thing. Like if you consider about the ancient people, like prehistoric men or women or child, it is very important for them, because light, without light they cannot survive. Even without the existence of fire, they cannot cook their food, or they cannot be safe in that during the night, because they protect themselves using the fire. So that is also keeping them warmth and provide them light in that dark caves. It is very important. And even for the modern century, even for us also, we find a lot of comfort and also very kind of cozy and also reassurance when there is light. So before, like this electricity, people used to complete all their works within like daytime, and take rest during night time. So, and also have the small things like small lighting equipments are there, that is only work around 1 hour or 2 hour maybe. So that is very important thing for us. So for light, these two powers are very important. First one is Aristotle. He's a Greek philosopher. He thought that light is kind of disturbance in the air, or is a one of that four element is light. Centuries later, there are a lot of like people like Lucretius. He also thought that it is a kind of invisible atom. Light is a kind of invisible atom. Then after that, in the 10th century, the Middle Eastern mathematician Alhazen, he developed a new theory. Before that, people thought light actually created in our eyes, and it create illumination for that object. Then we can see the things. But Alhazen, proposed a new theory that light actually formed somewhere else, or the some chemical reaction create that light, then it falls on some object or some body, then it illuminate that body, and then after that light or the ray of light actually then reflect back to our eyes. Then we can see the things. So the total different set of theory or set of postulates he actually thought at that time. It was very important theory at that time, because he actually changed the way people think about light, or the things, how we can see the things. That is very important. In 17th century, there was two scientists. They have also one kind of like differences between their views. First one is Sir Isaac Newton. He thought that light is a particle. Then the Christian Huygens, he also thought that light is a kind of wave. So this is the like duality of the light. Second thing is that what is light, whether it is a wave or it is a particle, we have to know about that. So in 1600, Sir Isaac Newton believed that light travels in a form of particles, which named as corpuscles. He thought that thing, it is a kind of particle which travels from using the medium. And also at 1678, Christian Huygens argued that light might be some sort of waves in the motion. Huygens came up with the Huygens principle that explains the light is a wave traveling through the medium called ether. So according to Huygens, he thought that medium, that medium which requires light, which actually requires light requires that medium and using that medium, light waves can travel from one place to another place. And what is the name of that medium? That name of that medium is luminiferous ether. Einstein also thought about that, whether we can discover that medium or not. Later it was discarded, or it was reproposed in a different way. Huygens deducted the laws of reflection and refraction, and could explain the double refraction to prove the theory of waves. So later we will know about that. However, if light behaves as waves, diffraction and interference should be seen using light. So let's go to the next slide. Huygens failed providing any evidence. So Huygens could not provide any strong evidence which can prove that light is a kind of wave. So furthermore, Huygens could not explain the light has different colors. Why light has different colors? He couldn't say the details about that, and he could not explain the reason behind that. So at that time he thought that it is a wave, but he was unaware about the fact that it is the wavelength. So the light, actually the type of light, like color of the light, depends on the wavelength. So he doesn't know about that. At that time it was very like ancient time, that the modern the instrument were not there, and he was not aware about the fact. So therefore the Newton's particle theory was acceptable in the scientific world, and he provided strong evidence about the particle nature of light. In 1801, Thomas Young's double slit experiment showed that light diffracts and produces interference. So in 1801, Thomas Young's experiment discarded that theory also, that light is a particle. Then it proves that it creates the interference and diffraction. So there is a chance that light can be a wave. So it was there. So therefore Thomas Young successfully provided evidence that light has a wave properties. At that time it was very revolutionary idea. He showed the light rays interfere with each other, and such behaviors could explain the wave nature of light, but it can not be found in the particle nature, right? Next slide. So in 1806, Maxwell developed the mathematical model of electromagnetism. So before we dive into this electromagnetism, let me explain that thing. You know about Michael Faraday. So Michael Faraday was a revolutionary person. He was not educated. He was not the person who got very wealth to study or to use their books, but he was very keen to understand the nature, to understand the science and technology. He was very keen about that. So what he did, he take a job in local bookbinder shop, and he bind those books, and while binding those books he got the chance to read all those books. So he was really study a lot of books at that time, and note down all the theories, note down all the things that are written there. That was Michael Faraday. And Michael Faraday actually got a chance to study about the nature of lights. How? So he worked under Sir Humphrey Davy. So Humphrey Davy thought he was very revolutionary person, and he actually surpasses the merit of Humphrey Davy, and Michael Faraday became more popular at that time. So Humphrey Davy was kind of jealous about that, so he sent him to Glasgow and different parts of Bavarian Alps in Germany to study about the art of optics, how they can create the glasses. So and is there any chance that he can create a glass which is very revolutionary. So he went there, he went to Germany, Bavaria, and study all those things, but he couldn't understand the basics or the secret behind that glass making things. So he lost lot of years in that study, and he actually research his research didn't gave him any chances. So after that he left the idea, and then again uh, study this electromagnetism. How he thought one day, what he did, he actually accidentally got the idea that electric and magnetism are same, is it both, like it's kind of same thing, but have different different things. This kind of things, it is a it is kind of second same thing but different part of the coin. So he created a motor. That motor actually accidentally explained the theory of electromagnetism, and he wrote down all the theories how that, like using the magnetism, how we can create the electricity, or vice versa, how we can use the electricity to create the magnetism. He wrote down all the things, but at that time he was not a like college graduate or something like that, so he couldn't know how to explain all those things in mathematical formula. So centuries later, maybe after reading the theories and the journals and his diary, uh, James Clerk Maxwell developed the theory of this electromagnetism, and he wrote down the very brilliant and useful formulas for electromagnetism. That are the 4 formulas that are there. You will understand about that. He was able to show this electromagnetic waves travel at the speed of light. Therefore, he asserted that light was form of high frequency electromagnetic waves. So in 1900th century, Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, Max Planck was able to explain the spectrum of the black body radiation by assuming that light energy is a quantized, that quantum of energy was later named as photon. So he introduced this term photon and this quantum, these things in 1900th century. The person Max Planck, he introduced all those things, and after he explained how light can travel from one place to another place using this model, he got the Nobel Prize. In few years later, in 1905, Albert Einstein, using the Planck's idea and created a new theory. That is, a theory is known as photoelectric effect, and effect of this actually help us in this modern photovoltaic cell and this solar energy. We use this theory to develop all this new technologies that are there, even Tesla's also. Now, wave particle duality experiment, we have to understand about that. So how dual slit experiment show that it is kind of wave. So first of all, now the quantum paradox is there. How so light, it is a kind of quantum paradox, is how light behaves a certain way when we see that light, and when we do not see that light behaves in a different way. So it is kind of paradox till now. And electrons, like bullet, strike the target at the same time, yet like waves, and they create interference sometimes. So this is a very interesting thing, right? And what happened sometimes, why we can see these things, like if we this part, You see that thing like this black in the front. There's a circle. It shows the wave nature of the light, but this black thing, it is a kind of emitter for that energy. So when energy created in that from that emitter, it travels from these slits and it reaches the wall next to it. But how this wall creating this dark and light band, why doesn't it create a continuous thing, or a part which is less, these gaps, this energy should reach from this gap only? Why it is creating another things like different band after this gap? So this is a really interesting thing. If each electron passes individually through one slit, with what does it interfere? Then if it's really passing through one slit at a time, then how it got the chance to interfere with other things? Like, there's no chance. He will simply just strike on the wall, but it is not, doesn't happen here. Although each electron arrives at a targeted single place and time, it seems that each has passed through. So striking the same time, how that creating this thing create interference? It's a very important thing. The electron is understood in terms of wave particle duality to quantum mechanics theory. So this interference, this band, light and dark band, this actually shows the interference of the light, and the wave particle duality proves hence this is there. So on microscopic scales, we can treat a large number of photons as a wave, but in case of macroscopic scales, we have to think about the subatomic particles of the light as a subatomic particle. So as we can conclude that scientists have observed that light energy can behave either like a wave as it moves through space, or it can behave like, say, discrete particles with discrete amount of energy, quantum, that can be absorbed and emitted. When light travels through space, they act like waves. It is a very important thing. So when the light when it travels in space, it acts like a wave, and when the light interacts with atom and molecule, they act like stream of energy called photons. That means when the light, when in sun, during this thermonuclear nuclear reaction, when it forms there and interact with other bodies of hydrogen and helium, it creates a photon. And when this photon travels in the vacuum, in the space, it acts like waves. It is clear? I think it's clear. Again, I'm saying that when the light creates on the sun and interact with other molecules, other atoms in the sun, there is a lot of atoms of hydrogen and helium, and when this hydrogen fuse together, it forms the helium, and this is known as thermonuclear reaction. And during this reaction, the product is the photon, and this photon actually travels billions of billions of miles. When for sun it is like 15 lakh kilometer, and it travels that distance, and without any like interference, it travels from sun to earth. It acts like waves, but when it started and its journey, it interacts, so it forms as a photon. So theory of light has two parts. One is the particle theory of light, and second one is wave theory of light. So these are the supporters of wave theory of light: Christian Huygens, Thomas Young, and James Clerk Maxwell. They believe light as a wave. Wave theory explains the wave as the nature of the light. and in wave theory light is considered as an electromagnetic wave. This electromagnetic waves consist of components which are electric field and magnetic field, which oscillates and perpendicular to each other, and as well as the direction of the wave propagation as shown in the figure 1. So let's see the thing here. This one, a wave is travel in the medium. This is the medium is like vacuum. It travel with a velocity a and frequency f and wavelength lambda. So what is the wavelength? So wavelength is so let me explain the wave first. So in case of wave, this ups and downs, this crest and trough. So ये जो आप देख रहे हो पहाड़ के जैसा जो ऊपर वाला हिस्सा है जो ऊपर जा रहा है, that thing is known as the crest. Okay, and the things which is going down, जो नीचे जा रहा है, नीचे भी एक पहाड़ जैसा बना रहा है, डाउन नीचे एकदम नीचे जाके फिर ऊपर उठ रहा है, this part is known as the trough. So there is crest, then again this trough, then crest, then trough, crest, trough. ऐसे ये wave move होता है. So this is the way how a wave moves like that. So between two crests, the distance between two crests is known as wavelength. So ये जो ऊपर वाला जो पहाड़ वाला टॉप है पीक, और यहाँ पे जो पहाड़ का टॉप है, ये दोनों का जो डिस्टेंस है यही आपका दिस इज नोन एज वेवलेंथ. और यू कैन ऑल्सो से दैट डिस्टेंस बिटवीन टू ट्रॉफ इज ऑल्सो वेवलेंथ. ओके, एंड सो दिस तो मीन जो लाइन है दैट इज मीन, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो दिस इज अ मीन लाइन. सो मीन लाइन से जितना भी ऊपर और नीचे जाएगा, जो ए से आपका वेलोस जो ए है इट इज एम्पलीट्यूड होता है उसका. ठीक है, मतलब कितना ऊपर जाएगा कितना नीचे जाएगा वही आपका एम्पलीट्यूड होता है. देयरफॉर फॉलोइंग प्रॉपर्टीज आर डिफाइंड एज लाइट कंसिडर द वेव मीडियम. तो आप ये जो वेवलेंथ इसके ऊपर डिपेंड करके लाइट का कलर होता है, कितना दूर जाएगा, कैसे बिहेव करेगा, वो पूरा डिपेंड करता है वेव के ऊपर. तो प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ लाइट में आप का दिस इज फ्रॉम सम definition you have to understand. First one is what is wavelength. So it is a length that one cycle or distance between two crest. मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला था कि this is the distance between two crest or is the length of one cycle. तो आप अगर एक सर्कुलर सोचोगे कि कोई सर्कुलर मूवमेंट हो रहा है, तो एक जो सर्कुलर मूवमेंट एक पार्ट से लेके पूरा जो सर्कल कंप्लीट कर रहा है उसको दैट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज वेवलेंथ. and we can denote that wavelength using the lambda. तो ये आप समझ लो, this symbol is known as lambda. okay, then frequency मतलब कितना बार आ रहा है, कितना बार ऊपर जा रहा है, कितना बार नीचे आ रहा है. that is the thing, how often cycles or waves repeat itself in 1 second. that is also very important thing. or number of cycles per second. so this is कितने बार reappear करेगा और number of cycles per second complete कितना होगा, that is known as the frequency. we can denote that frequency using f. after that we have the velocity. so velocity को हम लोग किससे डिनोट करेंगे? वेलोसिटी को हम लोग डिनोट करेंगे द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय द वेव इन 1 सेकेंड. तो वेलोसिटी क्या होता है? द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय द वेव इन 1 सेकेंड इज नोन एज द वेलोसिटी. यूनिट होगा मीटर पर सेकेंड्स. फ्रीक्वेंसी का यूनिट हर्ट्ज है एंड द यूनिट फॉर वेवलेंथ इज मीटर. नाउ प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ लाइट अगेन that what is period? Period is a duration of one cycle or the reciprocal of the frequency. तो frequency आपने जाना है कि पर सेकेंड में कितना साइकिल कंप्लीट होता है, that is the frequency, और that is reciprocal of that frequency is known as wave time period t. तो t equals to it's a reciprocal term of the frequency. तो 1 by f is a t. T equals to 1 by f. वेव नंबर क्या होगा? तो वेव नंबर हो, व्हाट इज द वेव नंबर? द नंबर ऑफ वेव्स स्प्रेड इन ए लेंथ ऑफ 1 मीटर. तो 1 मीटर में कितना आपका नंबर ऑफ वेव होगा, मतलब 1 मीटर लेंथ में आप कितना वेव आप देख सकते हो, उसको आप वेव नंबर बोलोगे. इट इज़ अ रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ अ वेव लेंथ. तो वेव लेंथ जो लैम्डा से हम लोग डिनोट करेंगे, 1 बाई लैम्डा इक्वल्स टू वेव नंबर. एम्पलीट्यूड क्या होगा? द डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द मिड लाइन टू द पीक ऑफ वेव. मैंने पहले ही आपको बोला था कि व्हाट इज दैट एम्पलीट्यूड, के जो मीन लाइन है उससे पहाड़ का कितना ऊपर टॉप तक है, कितना ऊपर तक जा रहा है वो पीक, दैट इज नोन एज द एम्पलीट्यूड. एम्पलीट्यूड इज मेजर्ड बाय द इंटेंसिटी और द ब्राइटनेस ऑफ द लाइट रेडिएशन. तो एम्पलीट्यूड मतलब द मेजर ऑफ द इंटेंसिटी, मतलब कितना ज़्यादा ब्राइट होगा लाइट. सेकेंड थिंग इज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ लाइट. द वेलोसिटी ऑफ द लाइट वेव इज नॉट कॉन्स्टेंट, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द टाइप ऑफ मीडियम. तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द टाइप ऑफ मीडियम, कौन से मीडियम में ट्रैवल कर रहा है लाइट, उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करके वो वेलोसिटी डिपेंड, उसके ऊपर वेलोसिटी का डिपेंड उसके ऊपर है. तो एट लाइट ट्रैवल्स इन वैक्यूम, व्हाट इज द वेलोसिटी ऑफ लाइट? It is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in vacuum. It will change when you, and what is the formula for that? The relationship among the frequency, light velocity and wavelength, lambda equals to c by f. This is a very important mathematical theory you can use. Now light waves have different colors of dispersion, depends on the frequency और wavelength. तो wavelength के ऊपर डिपेंड करके डिफरेंट कलर आ जाता है. आपका जो लाइट में जो कलर होता है वो डिफरेंट वेव के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. तो लाइट टेबल में हम लोग जाएंगे. लाइट वेव कुड डिफ्रैक्ट एंड इंटरफेयर एज शोन इन थॉमस यंग्स डबल स्लिट एक्सपेरिमेंट. तो दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो देख लो यहाँ पे एक मीटर से एक लाइट वेव ऐसे अगर ट्रैवल करेगा, दिस स्मॉल फ्रॉम यूजिंग दिस स्मॉल स्लिट, सो इट विल क्रिएट this diffraction there. And if we have two small slit and this wave traveling from this barrier, and when it travel from these small slits, it create the interference, and this create the interference between the waves. So the propagation of light through space can be described in terms of traveling wave motion. So light wave moves energy without moving mass from one place to another. So you understand that the photon doesn't have mass, so it moves the energy from one place to another at a speed depends on the intensity or wavelength. Light wave could moves in 3 different polarization: linear polarization, circular polarization and elliptical polarization. So you understand that light wave can also move 3 different polarization. This is the wave theory, how light moves. So this is the linear polarization, how light moves in that. Circular polarization, here it travels in that way, and the elliptical polarization, it forms in that ellipse shape. So photon as a nature of light, supported by Isaac Newton and Max Planck and Albert Einstein. So Isaac Newton in 1704 proposed that light consists of stream of small particles. Because it travels in a straight line at a great speed, is reflected from mirror So basically what is the theory? During 1704, Sir Isaac Newton believes that light is a particle. So when particle actually drop on a surface, what it actually do, it reflects back. So एक बॉल को आप लेके एक स्ट्रेट एक प्लैंक एक पट्टे के ऊपर से थ्रो करोगे तो बॉल वहाँ पे गिरेगी, उसके बाद फिर बाउंस करके फिर से कौन चले जाएगी. तो ही ऑल्सो थॉट अबाउट दैट. सो ही प्रपोज दिस थ्योरी रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट. उसके द थ्योरी उसके ऊपर ही डिपेंड करके बनाया था. द न्यूटन ऑब्जर्व दैट द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट फ्रॉम मिरर रिजेंबल्स द रिबाउंड ऑफ स्टील बॉल फ्रॉम स्टील प्लेट. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने क्या किया था, एक स्टील प्लेट के ऊपर स्टील बॉल को ऐसे फेंका था तो रिबाउंड किया था. दैट ही थॉट दिस इज द थिंग, दिस इज द थिंग हाउ लाइट एक्चुअली reflects. This he can actually understand how light reflects in that time. So particle theory explains the particle photon as a nature of light. So photon क्या है वो भी आपको जानना है. What is photon? तो photon is a very thin little particle that has energy and movement but has no mass. तो photon का कोई mass नहीं होता है, energy होगा and it can move from one place to another place. And also electrical charge भी नहीं होगा इसका. You have, this is also important thing. Photon does not have any electrical charge. Photon positive negative नहीं होगा, photon normal neutral होगा. तो mass भी नहीं है, electrical charge भी नहीं है. ठीक है. According to Einstein, photon is considered as a discrete packet of energy because Einstein believed on Max Planck, right? So Max Planck, what he actually proposed, Planck's quantum theory. In Planck's quantum theory, he explained light as a kind of the photon as a kind of packet of energy. So that's why he believes on that, Einstein. So characteristics of light: photon has no mass or electrical charge. Photon carries electromagnetic energy E and momentum P, as well as intrinsic angular momentum or spin associated with the polarizing properties. And photon travels at the speed of light in a vacuum. So this is the photon travels in the speed of light with a lot of energy. Photon. So again, photon has the wavelength characteristics. Photons are always moving from one place to another place in the medium. Photons can produce infrared light, visible light, ultraviolet light and X-rays. तो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ लाइट अकॉर्डिंग टू क्वांटम थ्योरी, मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला था कि ई जो है एनर्जी डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द फ्रीक्वेंसी, राइट? If that's true, then when we remove that proportional sign, we have to use the equal sign and also introduce one constant. So here the constant is Planck's constant h. So E equals to h into frequency. So we have to remember f मतलब frequency, उसका मतलब क्या होगा, c by lambda. c क्या है, that is the velocity of light or speed of light and lambda is the wavelength. So using that formula we can again create E equals to hc by lambda. So h is a Planck's constant with value is 6.25 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule per second. C is a velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and lambda is the wavelength of light in meter. Photon also carries momentum p. तो मोमेंट p क्या होगा, p इज e by c. तो इसमें बिठा दो इस फॉर्मूला को, आपको मिल जाएगा h by lambda. p मतलब मोमेंटम इज द h by lambda हो जाएगा आपका ये फॉर्मूला. तो कुछ क्वेश्चंस है, ये क्वेश्चंस में आप लोग देख लो. इसमें फोटोन इज अ पेल ब्लू लाइट हैविंग अ वेवलेंथ ऑफ 500 मीटर. व्हाट इज द एनर्जी of this photon? देन कैलकुलेट द मोमेंटम। फिर से पीछे जाएंगे हम लोग, देखते हैं क्या होगा। देखो क्या बोला गया है इसमें, वेवलेंथ दे दिया है, राइट। ये वी गॉट द वेवलेंथ हियर 500 नैनोमीटर and we have to calculate the momentum. In previous formula, using this previous formula, momentum equals to E by C, ठीक है, और h by lambda. तो we have the lambda that is 500, h by lambda, h is Planck's constant. Using dividing this Planck's constant by the wavelength, you will get the momentum. तो ऐसे ही आप फॉर्मूला यूज करके you can solve this 3 problem here.